Hey everybody, this is Mark Comfort. How are you all? Thanks for tuning in today to this Tulip Time River Cruise that Mimi and I are going to do. When Mimi goes with me on a hosted trip, we call it a royal family trip, and this is really kind of unique. I want you to know this, and I'm being very serious. This was not an itinerary for many years that I really had any desire to do. Same with Mimi. Not necessarily the itinerary, but the flowers as the theme of this itinerary, because I love Amsterdam. And if you want to know the truth, I've never been to Belgium and I want to go to Belgium. I've heard so much great about it. But then when all of our customers that do these Tulip Time River cruises come back, they just have stories and pictures that you can't believe, and they love their experience. So the more we got listening to this, we got thinking, you know, we ought to do this. Now then, Mimi has been in this area a couple times at the very end of the tulip time of the year. And even she, and Mimi's not really into flowers a whole lot either, even she said, Mark, you just cannot believe how beautiful those flowers are, those tulips are. You cannot believe the colors, the vivid colors. So I view this as a something really kind of exciting, and I'm going to be as excited as you are if you've never been there. And if you've never been on a river cruise, I think you know that it has become, river cruising has become my wife Mimi and I's favorite way to vacation. We just love river cruising. We love the fact that it's almost 100% all inclusive. We love the fact that it's a small, intimate group of people on the ship, 150 to 160 maximum. And then we'll have a good part of that. You know, we're thinking we're going to have probably 40 people out of the 100. Say if it's 160, that's 25%. So that I think is exciting. But I love history, and this area has so much history, and I think that part is great. Bruges, as we talked about, as we will talk about, is one of the most well-preserved medieval cities in all of Europe. So I'm going to kind of back out of this because Marcy New is our AmaWaterways representative, and she was just in this exact part of the world, did this exact river cruise, the destination that we're going to be going to. By the way, the date's April 27th through May 4th. Really good time of the year to be there. Weather is great that time of the year. Not hot at all, obviously, and it'll be a layers time of the year for clothing. We'll get into all that later. But what I do love is I love this ship, the AmaMora, spectacular ship. Mimi and I were just on the sister ship to the AmaMora called the Ama Christina, just over the Christmas markets, late November, early December last year. And oh my gosh, that ship is just fabulous, just fabulous. But what I think you're going to be amazed about is, especially with all these river cruises that I'm doing on the Danube and on the Rhine and well, almost all the rivers. I'm on the lower Danube this October, and then I'm on the Douro right after the lower Danube with river cruise groups. And what I will tell you is the pricing of those started in the high 4,000s and went into the 5,000 and 6,000 per person. This, the price starts at 3,528 and goes up to 4,823 is the, not the suite, but the highest double balcony cabin. So the pricing is really good. Air pricing will be much better in this time of the year, spring, April and May, than it will be in the summer months, June, July, August, even September. Okay, with that said, I think I'm going to turn it over to Marcy New. I guess actually I go this way on the screen. Marcy, welcome. And I can't wait to hear you talk about Tulip Time River Cruise that we're going to be doing.
Thank you, Mark, so much. I have to tell you, this was a wonderful journey that I went on, and I'm excited to be able to share it with everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to talk a little bit about AmaWaterways. Maybe you're familiar with who we are, maybe you're not. We have had a wonderful relationship with Mark and Mimi at Cruise Holidays and their amazing staff for many years. One of the things I think most important is that Berlitz is a travel writer. They've been writing travel for about 50 years. And Berlitz boarded 280 river ships in 2016 and came back and gave AmaWaterways the #1 rating to have the highest rated ships in Europe. We're very, very proud of that. We got that award at 7 out of 9 different categories. We still today maintain this award. So I want to say you have made a beautiful choice and an exciting journey you will definitely have with AmaWaterways. Personalized small groups. I think this is very important, Mark. You know, prior to COVID, we ran about 22 people with each guide. When COVID came into play, we really downsized because we wanted everyone to be able to, again, immerse themselves in the local culture with the local people. And our guides in many, many situations are professors at the universities, they're history buffs, they know they've been licensed by their government, they're very, very, very wise and smart and have so much to share. So we downsized our groups to be about 14. And we break them down by ability so no one misses out. So we've got gentle walkers, regular walkers, active walkers, and we all go at a comfortable pace. And I have to say, Mark, I know when we were on the other river, on the Rhone River in December, a couple of days we kind of altered and did some gentle walking and some regular walking and active walking, kind of mixed it up. That's the really nice thing about this. You don't just sign up for one type of being a certain type of walker on a group, but you can change it each and every day. Maybe one day you're a little more tired and you'd like to go a little bit more slow. You may certainly do that. The other thing that we have is late risers. And I have to be totally honest, this has never been me. So I've not seen one of these groups depart. When I'm over there, I want to see everything, do everything, touch everything I possibly can. So sleeping in is just not for me. But I will tell you, generally our tours don't start until 9 a.m. So our late risers are our 10 o'clock folks. So that is an option if one day you just want to relax and sleep in. The other thing that I think is so important and has become so very popular at AmaWaterways is the fact that we have a wellness host on all of our ships. And the wellness host is going to direct up to 5 classes a day, and you do not have to sign up for these classes, and they do not conflict with your other classes. So we're going to do anything from core stretching to cardio to Zumba to yoga, and even some dancing we do. Really a wonderful way for us to tie in the conveniences of your home and the way of life that you live at home. Many people today include being healthy at home and exercise and eating right and those types of things. So this really enables you to continue up that wellness part of your day's routine. And we do some fun things with this, Mark, and that is that sometimes we even do like a chocolate tasting with our cardio class, and we might do a champagne tasting with our yoga class, but they have become very popular, and it is definitely a wonderful benefit on board. And then dining, not only the La Chaîne Road de Seur signature is a French culinary society. It was established in 1248, given a rebirth in 1950. And what this really means to our guests or to anyone on board the ships is that they will have 5-star dining, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snack time. So very important for us to share the local culinary experience, again, because we want you to immerse yourself in the local cultures doing what the local people do. And we have the beautiful part of this is that also in the mornings, we have sparkling wine and fresh mimosas. At lunch, we have hand-selected premium wines and international beers, and the same for the dinner hour. These are going to change every day based on the cities and the regions that we're traveling, based on what their local likenesses are, if you will, so that you can experience, again, the same thing that the local people do. And we are able to accommodate dietary restrictions. So please just let your advisor know what that might be. We have the Chef's Table restaurant, and Mark, always traveling with a group as you do, we always have this reserved for your guests, our guests as well. So this will be done ahead of time for you, and it will hold 28 people on this particular vessel. It is a 9-course meal prepared a la minute or all at the moment for each plate. It is a panoramic view. It's on the opposite end of the regular dining area, and it's a panoramic view. So not only are we giving you information about why we're mixing the flavors and the herbs that we do on this beautiful menu, but you're also getting to see the beauty of the river as we're traveling. And it is really makes a culinary explosion, if you will. And then we also do the wine pairings in this area as well. This area also has a coffee cafe, as we do in the main lounge area. So you've got cappuccinos, lattes, espressos, hot, beautiful Swiss hot chocolate, multi-international tea station, and that is available to you all 24 hours a day, as well as in the chef's table. And this is an actual picture of the beautiful AmaMora, and it gives you an idea how beautiful these ships are traveling through the water, but also a reminder that all of these ships have a pool on the top deck that is heated. So you might think, ooh, April might be a bit cool. You'd be surprised. I don't want you to leave your bathing suit at home and miss the opportunity to get in and have a nice plunge in the pool, and the pool will offer you as well swim up service, as well as you see all of the beautiful deck space for everyone to sit up and enjoy the sights as we travel down the rivers. And you get to take pictures, and it is wonderful up here because there's no disruption in your photos. So it's a wonderful place for a photo moment. We have several different styles of staterooms. You've got the windowed staterooms, as you see here on my far right. Those are fixed window staterooms. You've got the French balconies, which means that there are the doors open. You get the fresh air of the river, the beautiful viewing. You just don't step out onto the balcony. You've then got the twin balconies. So this is something we are known for, which is innovation. You've got a French balcony, so you're not out in the elements. Then you can turn around, take your coffees, take your wine, whatever you'd like, and step out onto your step out balcony with your tables and chairs. Close the door behind you so you can always control the temperature in your stateroom. We also have connecting staterooms. There will be 12 of these on board. So if you would like to take your family, maybe you want to take friends, maybe moms, dads, sisters, brothers, whatever it might be, you can certainly share your space during the day. And as you need your privacy in the evenings, you have that as an option. The ship also offers triple and quad occupancy in the 12 staterooms that are adjoining. And then as well, the quad occupancy can be accommodated in our beautifully appointed suites. So here we go again. And we start our journey. Mark, do you want to talk a little bit about Amsterdam since you've been there, and then I'll keep going?
Yes, I'd love to. Let me get right back on there. I think many of you, if you have not been to Amsterdam, and many of you probably have, I would sure say, holy cow, this is truly one of the most iconic cities in all of Europe. It's so unique with all the canals and everything, and there's so much history there, as you can imagine. The other part of this is it's the biggest airport in the whole Northern Europe area, so we'll fly in, and most of us anyway will fly in and out of there. But Amsterdam is one of those cities that you just have to visit, and you can go to Amsterdam dozens of times and enjoy it and see something new every time. We will be offering a 2-night pre-package. Mimi and I will both be doing that. So I would very, very, very strongly recommend you do at least this 2-night pre-package that we're doing. Okay? Marcy?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. I do want to include that Amsterdam is actually built on this amazing, magnificent canal system. So truly the city is floating. It is fabulous, as you can see the canals here, but I have a little bit of trivia. We have over 200 museums in Amsterdam. beautiful Van Gogh museum. You can, there's just so many things to do and see. And the other thing about Amsterdam is the main source of transportation is going to be on the canals, but it's also going to be bicycles. And they have 880,000 bicycles. I love that information because they drive them like they're cars. It is a fascinating, beautiful, fascinating city. So we embarked the beautiful AmaMora in Amsterdam. And then the next day we go do our scenic cruising and we end up in Hoorn. And I have to tell you, what you are seeing here is absolutely the landscape that you see during the tulip time season. You have in every city, you're going to have multiple different tours you can do. That is one of the things that we are known for at AmaWaterways is choices. In this city, one of the really neat, wonderful things that you're going to get to do is to go to a farm like you're looking at. It is a family-run tulip farm with over 1 million tulips, and they're all in different phases of growth. So some of them are up and blooming. You can see some of them are still starting to bloom. Absolutely magnificence is what you get to see in the Dutch countryside. And this is just one of the many fields that you will see that express such a beauty that they have over in these countries. Now, then the next day we travel to Middelburg. And Middelburg is through and on the scenic cruising on the Delta. And then we arrive in Middelburg. And I have to tell you, this was one of the most amazing places. The architecture, as you can see here, the city square, the cafes. But let me tell you about Middelburg that I would highly, highly recommend. And that is, you can explore Middelburg. It's a very medieval city. It was one of the largest trading cities in this area for many, many years. You can also go on the Delta Works and you go to the surge barrier and you get to go to the Flood Museum. And I thought to myself, oh gosh, I don't know really what that means, but I'm going to learn more about these countries. Well, let me tell you, I wouldn't have missed it for anything. It was spectacular. In 1944, there was a major flood that came through the Netherlands. And part of the problem was they had nothing to protect their land. You had the Atlantic and you had the river. And when it all came together, there was no land. There was no way to protect the land. And so in 1944, when the Great Flood came, it washed away generations of architecture, of people, of families. It was really something to see and to experience. And the museum is unbelievable. And it talks about they had to preserve and create and prevent this from happening again. And so it's how then they started building the dikes in the city and how they started building the windmills to really protect their countries. And here's a picture of the Delta Works, which is where they built the dikes and they built everything to start protecting from the ocean and from the river to the land. And then you have the beautiful city of Ghent. And I tell you, Ghent looks just like this. It's on a canal, as we have said, the whole country is floating. But really, what I really enjoyed about this was the opportunity. You can see a lot of the canal side architecture and some of the famous sites along the way, but also you get the opportunity to go to Bruges. And to me, the full day excursion to Bruges, because I did get to see Ghent. I went, for a walk in the morning before, right after breakfast, and then came back. And I did the city of Bruges. And it is within itself an amazing place. You see the beautiful marble structure of the Mother, Madonna, and the Child that was done by Michelangelo. And it is on display in the city. It's out for everyone to view and to see. And then the other part of Bruges that's really, really fun is the chocolate tasting, the beer tasting, and the waffle tasting. So it doesn't get much better, but you can do all different things here. You can do an entire walking tour of Ghent if you choose. And Ghent does have a lot of history and even kind of somewhat a little bit of medieval history. So again, you've got choices in each one of these cities. And there's a little bit of Ghent by the evening hours. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the architecture. Also different. You have a little medieval, you have a little, just all different types. This is the chocolate workshop. This is another one of your choices. You can go to a chocolate workshop, learn how to make their chocolates, learn how they make their chocolates, and enjoy the chocolate. And the chocolate in Belgium is #1 in the world. They ship more chocolate out of Belgium than, honest to goodness, any other country in the world. And I was so intrigued by it because I said, well, where do you get the chocolate? Well, a lot of the cocoa bean, believe it or not, comes from Africa. And Belgium processes it and makes these amazing chocolate delights. And here is Bruges. So it gives you an idea of what this little city, this little village looks like on the water's way. And here's the Church of Our Lady, and we do visit the Church of Our Lady. Beautiful. That's where you see the Madonna that is with the child that Michelangelo created. And you see a lot of that type of architecture, but you see a lot of that type of sculpting work in this village as well. And then we went to the beautiful little city of Antwerp. And Antwerp is really quaint. It looks kind of big here, but it's not really big. You have a walking tour. You can go to the Rubens house. I did the walking and the Rubens house. You can do, again, the Belgium chocolate and beer tasting here. So there's lots of different tours. Another one here is the bike tour, and you've got bicycling in almost every single one of these villages. Or you can go to the Floralia flower show, which is amazing also. So you can go through the trendy walk in the morning, you can go to the flower show in the afternoon, you can go see the Baroque paintings in the morning. There are so many choices in this particular city. And the most interesting thing is if you decide to go to the flower show, there is over 1 million bulbs that are planted at the castle to explain and display the flower show. So it is like, and the castle staff does it all. So absolutely spectacular. So you can take in as many flowers as you like, or you can take in some of the medieval gorgeous architecture, or you can take in the fabulous chocolate, but you can also enjoy the amazing beer through the Netherlands and Belgium, and they are known for their beers, and the cheese. Always something to see and do. And this is a picture of one of the gardens, and these gardens go on forever and ever. It's absolutely breathtaking. And there you go. There's your beer tasting, your waffle tasting, and your chocolate tasting. And it doesn't truly get any better.
Marcy, that looks just fantastic. And Kim North of our office, one of our advisors, this is her favorite tour to do. As you could imagine, what a day that would be.
It is. It truly is. Not unusual to either see the local people tasting their chocolate with their beer, and some of their beers even taste like chocolate. So wonderful way to go. And of course, the waffles. There's nothing like them. They're fabulous. And then we step into the beautiful city of Rotterdam, and you've got several different choices here. You can go on a walking tour in the morning, or you can do the taste of Rotterdam and really experience and immerse yourself with the local foods and the local cultures that way. You also have Delft excursion. You've got the Rotterdam architectural. You have a bicycle tour, because look how Rotterdam is very eclectic, maybe is the word I want to use, but a very, very beautiful city. You can see the bridge here, how modern it is, and it sits next to a small part of the city that is quite medieval. So very, very pretty. But this is also the best of Delft. And Delft, of course, is the porcelain as you know it. So in the morning, you can do the walking tour through Rotterdam, get to, it's actually called the Getaway to Europe. Rotterdam is known to that. But you can do the walking tour through the city, get a really nice flavor of the history, the architecture, all of that. And then in the afternoon, you can go on the Delft excursion to see the beautiful blue and white porcelain. Now, for me, that was something very, very special. The other thing that you can do, which I also have done, is take the afternoon and go to Kinderdijk. This is Delft Haven, so this is Rotterdam and the Delft Haven, which also represents the Delft stoneware or the porcelain. And this is Kinderdijk. Kinderdijk, the drive to Kinderdijk was absolutely spectacular. Through some very interesting neighborhoods that are all surrounded by water in these canals. Unbelievable, very, very beautiful, with these beautiful homes that have thatched roofs. And I'm not going to tell you why they have thatched roofs. They'll give you all of that in your tour. I have to save some secrets for you. But Kinderdijk is where some of the original windmills were built to keep the water off of the land, to regulate the height of the water. And there are several in Kinderdijk still operational. There's a couple that are museums that we go into that are fascinating, but also many people still live in their windmills. So the windmills were not just used for work or used for safety for the land, but they were also homes. And it is fascinating to see, because whomever is living in the home has to know how to operate the windmill. And I thought, how hard could that be? It is fascinating, and it is very hard and very important, because they have to change the blades based on the wind currents and all these other things. And it is absolutely beautiful, beautiful to see. Well, oops, sorry. And this is Keukenhof, and Keukenhof, many people are very familiar with. Keukenhof is the gardens. These are the tulip gardens, and I'm telling you, as you see all these beauty right here, hard to believe that all of these flowers are literally breeds of tulips. They look, some of them almost like daffodils, some of them look almost like roses, but they are all tulips. And there are over 1 million, over 70 acres at Keukenhof Gardens. So you can imagine the beauty. It is breathtaking, the colors and the manicured gardens that you get to see. And you can really use your imagination. And then, of course, later that day, then we head through the canals, going back to the beautiful city of Amsterdam. And there it is. And then in Amsterdam in the afternoon also, you can do the canal cruise. So we're going to take you up and down. There's 7 canals through the city, and they join the city, of course, in the center of the city, but they take you out and around each and every neighborhood. And people actually live on these boats that you are looking at. So the neighborhood not only consists of maybe the apartments and the buildings, but the neighborhood also consists of the ships. So, Mark, do you want to add anything to that? Because I'm ready to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am too. It's very obvious that this experience will have something for everybody. I would have to guess, if you're a gardener or if you're into flowers, this has to be a dream come true experience. And the Keukenhof Gardens, everybody who goes there, we've had thousands of our customers go there. It's utopia, and that's why they have it last to see. So the itinerary is great for history buffs. The itinerary is great for if you're into art. And as Marcy said, my gosh, the museums in that part of the world. The Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam is one of my favorite museums, if not my very favorite in the world, and that's there in Amsterdam. A lot of UNESCO World Heritage sites. Marcy, the Delta Works has tremendous interest to me. I think it's fascinating that this part of the world, and you know, the Netherlands is primarily below sea level. So this was something that for survival they had to figure out, and they did. They're brilliant there. And the rest of the world has taken advantage of what the brilliant people there in the Netherlands figured out. But I'm so excited about this, Marcy, because you know, again, I love river cruising. You and I you work with us so very, very well to put these hosted groups together. And that's one of the highlights really of my year, is when I get to get out of the office and go on these beautiful trips and share memories with everyone. And this will be one of those trips that will have so many memories. I am so excited about seeing Belgium personally, and not just because of the beer, the chocolates, and the waffles, but the history too. The history of Belgium is just fascinating. We were just did an AmaWaterways trip right around D-Day, just right after June 6th, when it was the 78th anniversary D-Day up in Normandy. And I was one of the things we learned is the Belgium, the people from Belgium were huge fighters for the Allies and for the freedoms there, and that I think is exciting. Those of you that are watching today that have never done a river cruise, let me just share with you that you've got to try it. And going with Mimi and I maybe is the easiest, safest way to do this. You'll be with a group of people that are so like-minded, probably from pretty close to the same area. Most of our group will be from Kansas City or the Midwest area. Although they will invite, it happens every time, they invite friends and family from different parts of the United States, and that's perfectly fine. Please. It's more fun when you have people you know, but you'll get to know the people that are traveling with us very, very easily. We will do a document party ahead of time to make sure you know everything that's going to be going on, from your air flights to how to book the tours, to what to wear, electrical currents, money, currency, things like that. We'll go over all that, make sure you know all of that, and it also will give you time to meet the people that you'll be traveling with, and it's kind of fun to watch how people bond when they're in an international destination. But I use, and Mimi and I use AmaWaterways as close to exclusively when they have ships in the area, because they handle groups, they do groups better than, in my opinion, than any of the other major cruise lines. One of the things that I like, and I love statistics, Marcy, kind of like you did, like you do, and like you shared, the river cruise industry has the highest satisfaction ratings from customers that do a river cruise with any of the river cruise lines. Highest satisfaction ratings, around 96%, give or take. And AmaWaterways is on the very top of that satisfaction level, with a close to 97%. Think about that. No other segment of the industry, all-inclusive resorts, ocean cruises, hotel stays, there's just nobody that comes anywhere near 97% satisfaction. And what people love about the river cruising, like I said in the beginning, is it's a smaller, more intimate experience. And because there's only 3 levels, indoor levels, there's the top floor like Marcy showed you too, but those 3 indoor levels, gosh, there's one lounge, big lounge. There's the restaurant that's right below the lounge on the 2nd floor, and then the chef's table restaurant in the back. And so it's very easy to get anywhere on the ship. It's very easy to meet people. And I will tell you this, the people who cruise on AmaWaterways with us on our groups or just individually, they always come back and tell us that the service from those fabulous Eastern European servers was just unbelievable. They always talk about the service, food first, and then they talk about the food quality. And food, what I love about AmaWaterways, you'll have your choice of whether you want to eat local foods, and literally from the areas that we're traveling. And by the way, local foods and local beers and wines, and the beer and wine at lunch and dinner are included. I think that's wonderful. However, if you just plain like your steak or your chicken or salmon, they have that in a Western kind of good old Midwest. You have your choice of whatever it is you want to eat, and they just do a great job. The tours, like Marcy said, they're so varied. And what I love how AmaWaterways does, we go do the tours usually right after breakfast, and we get done right before lunch. We have lunch, and then if there is an afternoon tour, we can go out and do that tour. Then in the evening, around 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 usually, they have their sip and sail hour. Some people call it their happy hour because everything at the bar is included. And Ama recommends everybody to come to that because the first half hour of that sip and sail hour, everybody just talks about what they did, and during the day people get to meet each other or new people. And then the second half of that hour, the cruise manager will go through the next day's tours, all of the options, and you can then literally, if you've already made a decision what you want to do but you want to change it, you can change it. Or if you want to buy something, they will also tell you what this place we're going to tomorrow specializes in. Maybe the best place to get Belgian chocolate, something like that. So the cruise managers are just fabulous at what they do. I do believe AmaWaterways must pay better because I've been on 16 AmaWaterways cruises to almost every river, and every cruise manager I've ever had has been so professional, such great communicators, and so knowledgeable about the area that you're in. And if there ever is issues, they're just fabulous to help take care of you. Now, with that said, we have a brochure that we will be sending out to everybody. If you are interested, please email us or call us. Since you're watching today, or if you've registered, we will send you the link to this webinar that Marcy and I are doing right now. And you can forward that on to your friends or family if you want them to go with you. And this goes through everything Marcy just went through, and then on the back page is the pricing, and the pricing, like I said, starts at $3,528 per person, goes up to $4,823, not for the suite, but for the double balcony. This ship is a fabulous ship. You will be so pleased with this ship, I can promise you that. And we have the deposit information, the financial information will all be on there too. And if you have questions about anything, about if you're nervous about what the COVID regulations are, we can go over that with you, although they'll probably change 1 or 2 or 3 times. Everything is loosening up, thank goodness. And I do believe by next April, it will be totally loosened up, and there probably won't be very many, if any, requirements then, but we'll let time tell on that. If there are, we'll keep you abreast as to what the COVID policies are. But we will also go through travel insurance with you. A lot of people will go in earlier than we will, and I recommend that strongly, and see a different part of that Baltic Seas area if you so desire to, or some people will want to stay longer, and we can arrange that for you too. Okay, so all the information we will get to you. I do believe a phone call or a video appointment. We work by appointments only, so that's always best to do that. And let us just go through this amazing. I think this is so cool, Marcy. I got to be honest with you. I know you've been on a lot of these cruises, and so you just getting back from here has been a blessing to me, because I can't hardly pronounce half of those, Dutch names, let alone tell you about them. But I know I'm a big history guy, so I just love the history. I can't wait to Amsterdam, so full of history if you're a history guy like me. And the Belgium ports that we'll be going to, all those UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Personally, I can't wait to see Bruges and Ghent. Kim North has told me those 2 places are just magical and historical and scenic and everything else. And they have everything, like there's very few places in the world like this where canals are a means of transportation, because there's so many of them throughout the area. So not just in Amsterdam, but all throughout Belgium too. And then, to say the least, if you're into flowers, this is going to be utopia, this trip for you, especially if you're into tulips. So give us a call at any time, 816-505-1500 or 741-7417, like my Vacation Views says. That's our main number. And Marcy, any last words of wisdom you have?
I do want to include a little something, Mark. If you're a history buff like Mark is, I encourage you to do a little bit of studying about the Battle of the Bulge, because when you go to Bruges, you're going to get a real site of history that is amazing, and how truly they honored the U.S. soldiers And I'll just leave it at that because it's very exciting and very moving, very touching, but they never ever forgot the help that we gave. So history's your thing.
Hey, Marcy, the other thing too, before we sign off on this webinar, isn't it so exciting to see people get back to vacationing and vacationing internationally? And in our case or your case right now, picking and choosing river cruises. And I do believe river cruises are winning the vote of the consumer because they are so small and they're pretty much all inclusive. People are, everybody, even if they haven't been on a river cruise, they're hearing from friends how wonderful river cruising is. So I think the thing I would like to say is I personally believe this group will sell out very fast. I would urge you to make decisions as quickly as you can. You can deposit and then make payments over time if you like, and final payment will be 90 days or thereabouts before we leave in April. We'll help you with airfare if airfare is something you need us to help you with. Obviously, it is not included in these prices, so we'll help you with air. If you have points, we'll help you know when to get in, when to leave the United States, when to get in, and help you with transfers and all of that too. So we're here to help. We want to create memories that will last a lifetime with you on these hosted trips. And on behalf of Mimi and I and our entire staff, a lot of you who have registered today are customers of ours now, and we appreciate you. We are back for you. We've hired 4, going on 5 new people here in the last 2 months. And Marcy, the business has just skyrocketed, hasn't it?
It has, Mark. It has been an incredible comeback. We knew when everything started to lift, it would be that way. And we are having record-setting days at AmaWaterways as far as reservations. So I am with you. I encourage anyone and everyone that even thinks they might like to do it, it's time. Go ahead and call Cruise Holidays. Their advisors are amazing. They can get you all set up. It's just a simple deposit and you're ready to go. So please don't wait because it will sell out very, very quickly. This is a very, very beautiful and popular time of year to be there.
Yes, very definitely. And we'll help you if you're a nervous traveler or whatever. You know, I know a lot of people still have a lot of anxiety about traveling internationally. We'll be there with you and walk you through this whole trip from start to finish. That's one of the reasons why these hosted groups are so popular. Okay, Marcy, thank you very, very much. I want to say to everybody, take care. I'm heading out tomorrow, going to Europe on an ocean cruise from Venice to Athens. So people are back, people are traveling. Marcy, I heard it said the other day, they call it's called revenge spending. People didn't get to do what they wanted for 2 full years, and they're taking advantage of the opportunities now that the world is opening up and travel is just booming. So plan your vacation now. We're here to help you. I also think there's never been a time when our value, the value of a professional vacation specialist, we call ourselves advisors, has never been more important for you, because there are still a lot of policies, and these policies are changing all the time. And sometimes the vendors' policies are different than the country's policies. So we're here to help make this all easy for you and stress-free. You know, I say on my radio show every Saturday morning, by the way, I do that radio show on 710 KCMO from 10 to 11. I say it a dozen times throughout that show. You deserve and need a stress-free vacation. Thank you, everybody. Marcy, thank you. Give us a call. Bye-bye.